Yo, what's going on guys, Caden here, back with another video, and today I'm back yet again in Schedule 1, and today in this video you guys can see I'm at the dock property right now, and as you guys can see, this thing does not really look that clean. This is kind of a old-ish setup, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be completely renovating and revamping the entire dock and making the best setup for the cocoa and everything like that. So we have some of our stuff here, but we're going to be completely stripping all this down and setting this up and making it fully automatic as well. So I'm going to get straight into it and start renovating. Alright guys, so now you can see we kind of cleared up the base a little bit. I got rid of like all this middle area, so now we're kind of just going to place everything. I'll change up the back area and everything soon, but I'll let you guys know. Alright guys, so a little update for you guys. I started setting up a lot of this main area and we're getting all of our employees set for outside, but pretty much my concept is that it takes one chemist can do 3 of these machines right here, so we're gonna have 2 chemists running 6 of these, and then every 8 pots can be for 1 bionist, so we have 24 pots here in a line and everything, so we'll be able to run 3 bionists, 3 chemists over here, and then we'll have the storage movers moving gasoline into the machines here, and then the chemists and the bionist will move the leaves from here onto the drying racks, and then from the drying racks into these, and then from these into the mixing stations, and then from the mixing stations into the brick press into the final area where we're going to be pumping it all out. But this is a nice little setup, and I'm trying to keep it a little bit more simple and not as much like plants and everything all over the place, because we want to have it working automatic and effective and everything. So this is going to become the best Coke farm, but so far that's what we have, and we have like the sleeping area and everything for our employees up here. But that is a quick little update, so I'll let you guys know when we start getting a bit more running. Alright boys, I have done it. Now I've been setting this up a little bit, so what we have going on right here is we have all of our cocoa growing, and what it is it's simply just cocoa seeds, and then all of these pots are set, so every single person here, they come and they grab their supplies, which is just soil and their seeds, and then they come in, they grow it, and then once it's done growing, you can see all of it is set to a destination. They'll all go from every single pot into all the drying racks, separated into each, and then it goes from the drying racks to the machines here, and you can see all those are set, so every drying rack is set to a machine, and then in the machines, it'll be going here, and they will all be mixed up with gasoline, and then from these shelves, there is the movers who are set to move the gasoline from here into these whenever they need refills, and then it'll finish up mixing from these. It'll go from these machines into all of them will go into this end mixing machine. So every single machine here will take them and they'll move eventually into this first machine. Now what will happen then is the mixer will come and mix it, and then as soon as the final product is finished, then it'll get moved to the next one, and every time a product is needed here, it'll get moved from the shelves into here. So then technically it'll be completely automatic. It'll 8 mix it and then move it from the final mixing machine into the brick press, into the next brick press, and all that. So then these will fill up, and then all of these brick press will eventually be moved into this final one and then moved into the shelf. So it goes kind of in like a line. It goes all these, then drying racks, then these machines, then it goes all into this mixing machine, and then as soon as everything finishes mixing from this, it goes into the next one, and then it mixes, and then it goes into the next one, and then it mixes, next mix, next mix, next mix, next mix, until we finish all of that completely, and then it'll go into the brick press, and it'll just all get moved into the final one. These are just kind of like in a line. If it gets filled up or if it's too slow, it'll use the other ones, and then this will just get filled up with bricks that are all mixed with all these products, and all I have to do is refill the gas, refill the products every once in a while, and re-up like the seeds and everything like that. But since we have a really good mix, it should be all going. Alright guys, you can also see now they've put them all up on the drying rack, so they're gonna go for like 10 hours and work through those, so like 10 minutes IRL, and then they'll move them from here into these machines and run it through the gasoline, and then finally into the full mixing process. So we'll just get into that. Alright boys, now you can see I came over here, and you can see all of the machines over here are getting to work, and all the drying racks are getting refilled back up. So then what they did is they took them from the drying racks, and you see it brought out heavenly leaves right here. So these are like the highest quality leaves we can get, and yeah, they'll just eventually move all these from here. Well, I picked up these ones, so I'll just place them somewhere, but and then they move it from here into these, and then once these are all done mixing, it'll take them from here and move them into the mixing area where it'll run through all the mixes and then pump out bricks, and we'll get our final product. Alright boys, and then you can see he's taking our product and he will come over here and start mixing it. So we got our first line of the whole mixing station over here after it's been cooked and everything, and then it'll take it and move it into the next and start cooking it, and then we'll see what our final product is in brick form, and we'll just get straight into that. Alright guys, and now we're on our final step here. This has gone through the entire production line, and now you can see our final step here. We have Edward pumping out the brick. Let's see what our final thing was, because I actually didn't see it. I just came over here and saw him now pumping it out, and we'll see what the actual recipe came out to. I'll take that there. Alright, and let's see. OG Durkle. Alright, let's take a look at this. OG Durkle, a hole, our first brick right here, and they're just gonna keep pumping these out. And honestly, wait, here, let's see the effects on this first. Paranoia, euphoric, calorie dense. OG Durkle, what does this sell for? OG Durkle, 598 a piece. That's pretty solid. That's not the best, but that is pretty solid. So we could list that for sale and everything and see what it sells for, but we're just gonna let this pump out. And you know what? I would try the product, but it's a whole brick. So we're just gonna let this pump out and everything here. And yeah, so regardless, that is the full setup and everything here. And then we have the ovens and all that upstairs. And yeah, this is the full setup for the docks right now, completely automatic. And I will be making like revamps and everything and updating all of these little warehouses and making different designs. But this is gonna be the end of the video. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.